What's for lunch? Insight on US school cafeterias. Ever wonder what's really on the menu that your kids eat at school? Is it the healthy and nutritious food that promotes their growth and learning? Or is it a recipe for a health disaster? Are they doing more harm than good? Grab your tray, because we are going to dig into what school lunches in the US really consist of. Let's see the good and the bad side of it. The big bite. What's in my tray? Imagine seeing a tray with a greasy slice of pizza, a bunch of fries, a bowl of canned fruit soaked in sugar syrup, along with a carton of chocolate milk. Is this food tray familiar to you as a US school student? For decades, US school lunches have tried to provide affordable meals for all students, but at the same time filled the stomachs of these children with overly processed food. In the end, is it about affordability or health? Which one would you sacrifice? You'd think that with so many guidelines in the USA for school lunches, it would be the healthiest food these kids eat in a day. Wrong! Just because a meal meets nutritional requirements doesn't mean it's really nutritious or even tastes good. But wait, there have been some changes in recent years. Some schools have taken bold steps to serve healthier options such as fresh fruits instead of sugary canned ones, leafy greens instead of donuts, carbs, and less chocolate milk, which is just calories. That sounds like a great change, Dot. So why isn't every school doing this? Could it be funding issues? Or is it simply that kids aren't ready to trade their fried frozen nuggets for broccoli? I mean, it's not easy to convince kids to eat their leafy greens, but this also doesn't mean to give them unhealthy calories in a tray. And let's not forget the issue with the cafeteria and their perception of healthy food. Example: tomato paste gets counted as a serving of vegetables and canned artificial flavour fruit is considered a healthy food option. It is unbelievable for many specially people outside the US, as their schools usually provides fresh, healthy meals for children at school. The obesity link. So, to ask the obvious question, are school lunches making kids unhealthy? As of 2024, approximately 21.1% of children and adolescents aged 2–19 in the United States are obese. While schools aren't the sole culprit, they're definitely playing a big role in it. When your meals prioritize taste and cost over nutrition and actual health, then the results are going to be disappointing. How many school lunches do you think are designed to meet calorie requirements but not the actual necessary nutrient needs? That means kids might be eating enough to feel full, but they're missing out on the vitamins and minerals their growing bodies need. But let's also consider this. School lunches often provide the only reliable source of food for millions of children from low-income families. So for them, eating processed food is better than starving. The problem only isn't lunch, but also less physical activity, which is required to stay in good shape, poor eating habits at home, and the accessibility of vending machines stocked with sodas and candy. But let's be fair. Schools are often on a budget, and creating a balanced menu isn't cheap. Processed foods are quick, easy, and cheap, but is it worth risking the health of the future generation? Lead-in lunch. If you thought processed foods were the worst of it, buckle up, because this part will shock you even more. Recent investigations by Consumer Reports found that some school lunches contained trace amounts of lead. The toxic substance made its way into the school cafeteria. I mean, it might not be a big deal for some, as trace amounts of heavy metals like lead and cadmium can be found in various foods due to environmental contamination. Also, the lead levels are reportedly low, but here's the thing, that no level of lead is safe for kids. Even tiny amounts can affect brain development and lead to many other health issues. Also, the cumulative exposure of lead over time is definitely not helping the case. How does this even happen? Contaminated water, rusty kitchen equipment, and poor maintenance in general are most likely to blame. Are schools equipped to test for these contaminants? And if not, shouldn't they be? Why isn't more being done to address this? Advocacy groups are pushing for stricter testing and guidelines which will limit heavy metals in foods served in schools. However, there's still a long way to go, and stronger regulations are needed, which leaves parents asking how safe are the meals their kids are eating? Are we playing the blame game? It's easy to point fingers at schools, but are the parents as involved in their kids' lunch as much as they should be? Is the community doing enough as a whole for this issue? Are kids getting enough physical activity to stay in shape? The healthy change in school children will come from all the small efforts along the way, not by just a thing or two. Healthier options. Is it really happening? Believe it or not, some schools are proving that healthy lunches aren't just a dream. From salad bars to grilled chicken wraps, a few districts are going all out and ditching the processed food altogether. Imagine your kid coming home raving about their salad bowl and fresh mango slices. Instead of complaining about how mac and cheese served at school is just cheese-flavoured glue. Would be a nice change to hear, right? But here's the catch. These healthier options often come with a big price tag. Schools in wealthier districts and active parent groups tend to offer better meals. Meanwhile, lower-income schools struggle to provide even the basics. So how do we bridge this gap, or find some common ground between the two? Could government funding make a difference? Or should local farms and schools have some sort of partnership for fresh and healthy produced foods? There are many options, but honestly, all of them require time and money. So the question is whether the schools are ready for this responsibility and budget. The role of parents and the community parents. Are you doing enough for your kids' health? How often do you check what's on your kids' lunch menu? If the answer is not often, you're not alone in this. But here's the thing. Parents have more influence than they think. Joining the Parent-Teacher Association, being a part of school board meetings, or even just voicing concerns can push schools toward change. And let's not forget, we live in the time of social media, so it can be used to spread awareness and bring attention to the cause. I think packed lunches got lost along the way, and we need to bring them back. Sure, it's extra work, but it's also an opportunity to ensure your child eats something balanced. Who's up for some sandwich making and vegetable cutting? What's your say on community learning programs for healthy cooking? If children learn to cook their own meals as a community after school, not only will they know about healthy eating, but also learn a great life skill, which is the art of cooking, and it will also take the burden down a notch from their working parents. It's more than just lunch. School lunches aren't just some food to fill the growling stomachs of children, but about the health and future of the kids in the US. A kid that's well-fed can focus better, learn more, and feel healthier. And this is very important for America as a country to have healthy children, which are the future. Because a healthy and fit community will flourish way more than an obese one with health complications. The last bite. What does the future hold for US school lunches? Will we see more funding for healthier options? Will there be stricter regulations on safety and nutrition? Or due to budget cuts, the schools will keep serving trays of processed meals? What do you think? Who is the main culprit behind children's health issues in the US? There are obvious flaws in the current system, but with a little creativity, collaboration, and, most importantly, putting pressure on decision makers who control the school lunches around the country. Through all these steps, we can make school lunches a source of health in a tray, not a concern.